And here are some of the fidget toys that Danny and Alex have been playing around with since our US trip. One of the things that Alex really wanted to get during our US trip was a fidget toy, fidget spinner for that matter. And here are some of the stuff we picked up in the US and here in Manila. Let's start with this one. This is your typical fidget spinner, something we picked up at 7-Eleven out in the US. I think we picked this one up in maybe in Dallas, I think, or stopover in Minneapolis, I think, or something like that. I can't remember, but it was at 7-Eleven and it was severely overpriced. You got it for like $9.95. Ridiculous. I thought that was severely overpriced. And these things actually in Manila, they cost like what, $2, $3 at most. This typical basic one, but not too bad. It's a little bit unstable, but it does the thing. Okay, it kind of wobbles and shakes a little bit. Okay. Next thing we picked up was this one. I'm pretty sure we picked this up at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, and it cost us $20. The lady gave us a discount of $2, and it was $18. And I thought this was one of the best ones we picked up. Very, very stable. We had picked up another one, the same one in blue for Danny, but this is Alex's black spinner, and I thought this was amazing. It was very small. It was a little bit heavy, even for the size of it, but the length it made it very, very, very easy and very simple to just fidget and spin compared to this one. This one was a little bit tough because it was a little bit bigger, especially for Danny. But this one, wow, look how balanced this thing is. I can't do the tricks though, but I'm like, if you could do the tricks, this one would really work. And it stays long. Look at that. Very nice. Okay, and I like this. It's like a ninja weapon, shuriken. Okay, let's do a cube. These are two cubes. Those are what we picked up in the US. Everything else I picked up locally here in Manila. There are two different kinds of cubes being sold out there here in Manila. One hobby shop was selling this one. This one is a little bit on the cheap side. This thing costs about $5. This one cost about $3, and you can see why, because it's very light, and it feels like it's very loose, especially this one, this rotating disc. It doesn't continuously rotate, and it even wobbles. But the buttons do work. This one works. The sphere is okay. You can rotate it, good enough, but you can't push on it. The dials, yeah, is very loose, and the switch is okay. And this one, yeah, nothing to it. So not too bad. Very nice as it is. Then during ToyCon, during one of the toy conventions I went to, I discovered this one. A seller, one of the dealers was selling this one. I think he picked it up in the US. I could be wrong, or from another country. Definitely not in the Philippines, because look how nice and smooth these things are. They're not cheap. $5, $5.50 actually. And it spins really nicely. It doesn't get stuck. It doesn't wobble as much. The switch is a heavy kind of switch. It flicks heavily, not like this one, which feels like it's very light. And again, this one like wobbles and gets stuck. Wobbles and gets stuck. This one is like really nice and smooth. This one is a nice crisp press, and this one's like the switch just really throws very nicely. These ratchet, the dials, they do ratchet, which is nice. The trackball spins nicely, easily, and you can push on it. There's that gimmick also. The buttons, this is on the cheap side. This one has not failed any, but not any of the buttons failed. But these two buttons are already failing. There's no clicking sound anymore. These three are okay, but these two sort of lost their clickers. And this one's the same. So not bad, and it feels a little bit heavier than this one, like 50% heavier. Okay, so that's that. Next, let's do these first. These are called infinity cubes, or at least here in Manila, and you can imagine why they're called infinity cubes, because you just keep folding and unfolding them and they just don't stop. And this is one of Alex's favorites. She could not put these things down, and I decided, you know, they might fight over it. So blue one goes for Danny. Well, the black one, I bought another one for Alex, and I thought this was just the most amazing thing. And I tried it, and I just can't put it down. It just keeps going and going. It's an infinity cube. Not to be confused with the Infinity Gauntlet or anything like that. Look at this. Very nice. Okay, enough. All right. On to the Marvel spinners, sort of. I don't think they're licensed. These two I picked up at a local toy convention as well, and they were very heavy, and I thought they were pretty well balanced. This one I thought was kind of weird, but then when I tried it out, it does work to look like a shield. A little bit unbalanced at certain times, and it's a little bit noisy. There is that scraping sound. It's not as quiet as I thought it would be, but it does work. Looks like a shield. This one rotates much smoother than that one, and it feels more balanced. I love the black on silver on this one. The symbiote Spider-Man deco. A little bit noisy as well, but it's a lot smoother than this one. I can feel that wobble sticking in. Very nice. Okay. All right, let's do this one last. We'll do this one first. Now, I've seen several versions of this. There's one that's like 30-40% bigger. And there's one, but a little bigger than this one in metal. The metal one costs like $12. The plastic ones cost from $3, $3.50 to $4. And this is, I think, the better size. There's a bigger one that's glossier, that's lighter, made of like glossy plastic. This one is a little bit more matte. It comes in white and in blue and I think in pink, and it shares all the same. I'm pretty sure you've seen this on YouTube or something like that, but it's like a spin cube or a fidget spinning cube or something like that. So you hold it here. The metal one has like a depression for your fingers, but this one doesn't, and then you just spin it here. And despite that sound, it's actually a very, very smooth spin. And I like it. And it actually lasts longer than most of the other spinners. And you can also do it reverse. You can hold on to the bigger part of the cube and you can spin it here. And compared to the metal version, the metal, it's like it weighs down so much on the fingers and it's very difficult to rotate at a fast pace with just one finger. But look at that. Nice. You can spin it with just one hand. But this one is probably my favorite. Spinning it this way. Very, very nice. All right, and lastly, we have the Captain America shield. And what's interesting about this is actually the design of the concentric circles. They're not actually concentric, they're actually a spiral. In such a way that if you spin it, they can either go inward or outward. Spin it this way, they're moving outward. Spin it the other way, they're moving inward, which is very, very cool. Also, Danny had discovered, or Alex had discovered this. You could also spin the one in the middle, and it gives that nice little star effect. Very, very nice. Really nice. This one costs a lot because it's heavy, made of die cast, and the paint is nice, rich, metallic feel to it. It costs about $10. I know that's cheap in US standards, but here in Manila, $10 is pretty pricey for a spinner, fidget spinner. So there you go, folks. These are just some of the spinners that Alex and Danny have been fidgeting around with, and I really like them. If you can get them here in Manila, they're not as expensive. They're really, really nice toys. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review, and thanks for watching.